Welcome into the top five. It's Friday. It's brought to you by Flag and Anthem. This is a Flag and Anthem shirt. I've got a couple more on the way, so I know the fashionistas amongst you will be waiting with bated breath to see them on me as a big, beautiful, handsome man. 365sportsdeals.com or flagandanthem.com. Use our promo code 365sports for a discount at checkout. These are the top 5 college football programs in the Phantom Zone. These are teams that have once won a title or come close, and they just can't get back to where they were. The Phantom Zone, as you may know if you are a nerd like me, is the Kryptonian prison that General Zod and his compatriots were sent to in Superman. So, yeah, I got a million chicks back in the day. Anyway, I felt it an apt metaphor for this particular thing because they're stuck and they just can't break out. It was flat glass, if you'll remember, and they were just kind of spinning around in space until there was an explosion, and then they got out. Anyway, Superman 2, the Donner cut. Watch it. Much better than the original one. Number 5, Auburn. They are very much stuck in the Phantom Zone. They are a previously great program. Look, they have a national title in the last 20 years. One of the best college football seasons from an individual, a coach, everything with Cam Newton, all of that. And they even got back with Nick Marshall in 2013 and lost at the last second to Jameis Winston, Kelvin Benjamin, Jimbo Fisher in Florida State. But since then, man, it's been a rocky time for Auburn. They can't settle on a coach when they seemingly do, like Hugh Freeze. He hasn't done anything yet. This is a big year for him, and they really need to grab some consistency in this to get out of their cycle of blah, because that's what it is. Number 4, USC, the greatest team of the early 2000s by many pundits. Since then, they've had little blips, like, and everyone wants to say USC is back. USL, here they are. They've got a coach who was highly sought after in Lincoln Riley, who has the last couple of seasons fallen on hard times, and he's trying to figure out who he is anymore. So, can USC break out of the Phantom Zone? Well, it's going to take Lincoln Riley getting back to his quarterback hot streak that he had in Norman, Oklahoma, and defensive improvement, which we saw last year, but we saw the offense regress because they couldn't really settle on a quarterback. This year, it's Jaden Mayava. We'll see how he does under one-time quarterback genius, Lincoln Riley. We'll see if he can regain that again, but USC in the Phantom Zone. Number 3, Nebraska. I'm glad Smokey's not here today because he would rant and rave as soon as this was over about why did I include them in it. They are stuck in the Phantom Zone for 24 years now. 2001, their last national title. Well, actually, 2000, their last national title. They are just floating along. It's been tough for Nebraska for actually, it wasn't even 2000. That was Oklahoma. It's been a long time since Nebraska has won a national title. And in that time, they become less and less relevant, despite having every single thing you'd want. Fan backing, all of that. They might have finally settled on a good coach. Of course, we're biased because we love Matt Rule here, but they might actually have some direction for the first time in a long time. But they are, like General Zod and Nan, who was the big guy who couldn't talk. He just went, rrr, rrr. They're there. Number 2.
In a game of inches, every advantage matters. Grip socks aren't just an accessory. They're a performance tool. With advanced grip technology and arch support, you can change direction faster, accelerate quicker, and stay in control. It's not just about the sock. It's about the edge it gives you. Grab Luxletic grip socks from the TikTok shop. Try them now and wonder how you ever managed without it.
Lux Sports Socks. luxsports.co.
Oklahoma haven't won since 2000, and they've gotten close a bunch of times. But now, after Bob Stoops retired, Lincoln Riley took them right there back to close to the precipice, and then he left. Brent Venables finds himself steering a ship into the abyss because he does not know how this is going to work out. Now, look, getting John Mateer and the electric playmakers that they've added this offseason, like Jaden Ott, is a step in the right direction. Their defense was actually Brent Venables good last year, which is a nice step forward. But they've got to score points, especially in the high-flying SEC, to be relevant. They should be able to do that. But can they get out of the Phantom Zone in 2025? We will see. Also, Superman stopped Non by taking, and this is not in the Donner cut, this is in the original one, by taking like a plastic thing out of his S in the Fortress of Solitude and throwing it on him. And then, it knocked him back. It was a minor inconvenience. It was weird. It was something that probably shouldn't have been in there. Anyway, I digress. And number one, Miami, maybe poked their head up out of the sand last year a little bit with Cam Ward. Can Carson Beck continue that? They went, and I'm going to talk about the precipitous fall of Miami. They went from having the greatest college football team that will ever be assembled, ever, with the transfer portal and NIL now. There's no way that anybody could do that again. It would be far too expensive. And people would, you wouldn't have guys like Sean Taylor waiting for playing time. He had to wait. That's how good they were. Sean Taylor had to wait. Unbelievable. This team went from the greatest team of all time to the absolute definition of mediocrity. Sometimes you say, they got a guy, he's fast, he's good. But they're 6-6 again. Oh, they went 8-4. Oh, no, they turned around. They're turning around. Oh, no, yep, 4-8. That's what Miami's just lost in the Phantom Zone. Now coming off a 10-3 year, let's see what they can do to repeat it. They appear to have, made some strides defensively, hiring a new defensive coordinator and all that, but we'll see. The proof's going to be in the pudding this year. Can they contend at the top of that league with Clemson, with SMU, with possibly Louisville, who beat them last year? Can they do it again? Or is this bound to crash and burn? We'll see. They've done a lot of work to try and get there. That's going to do it for the top 5. I will be reading Andrew Villade's polls in 1 second.